Hey everyone, it's Lynn. Welcome to the channel. I thought I would show you some decks that I use to work with spirits. Okay, it's the spooky season, it's that time of year, right? I have certain decks that I pull out when I want to commune. Now these could be construed spooky season decks, but some of them aren't. And so I kind of wanted to take you along a little card deck journey today and see what we can get up with, see what we could get into. I've got a couple of tarot decks off to the side, and then I've got a couple of oracle decks that I wanted to show that have been really good in my communion practice. So I do want to give a little caveat here that I consider myself an animist. So when I want to work with spirits, it goes beyond human. And so I just want to give that little caveat, and we'll get into that when we get more into like the decks. So anyway, now the first one is considered my spooky deck. Okay, this is my spooky season deck, and that is the Barbara Walker. Okay, now the Barbara Walker is a great deck for this time of year regardless, but because of its witchy connotations, I like to work with it in terms of folklore, because I guess I consider myself a folk witch. I like to commune with the old witch inside, not the crone. Okay, so I just mean like this red thread, this connection to the witch that is ancient, that lives inside of me, but also an ancestral witch. So it's like a line of witches. I have no one in my direct bloodline that I can trace that is into witchcraft, but, okay, that doesn't mean, because I'm pulled to the craft, I know that there is an ancestral witch that lives within me and that links me to all the other witches. When I want to commune with this council, if you will, this council of witches that lives in my soul, there's this dark cavernous place that I venture to when I want to commune with them. And it's very much like a council, but sometimes you just see one, all right? But this deck links me to that cavernous, witchy, icy hellfire place, which is how I always describe it. It's a cave, and it's got it's cold, but it's got some fire in it too. So it's like my version, I guess you could say my version of hell. But I don't know. So there's a lot of mythos involved in this deck, but that's not really why I read it. It's just such a good deck for me to plug into the actual witch archetype. And this is one of my favorite cards. Look at that. She's summoning the dragon. The dragon has her wand, like as the Ace of Wands, the dragon has it. And as someone that works with dragon witchcraft, this is like my favorite fucking card in the deck. Ball. I love him. It really ties me, this ball card really ties me into the energy of the almost like the horn god energy, but with it being ball, it's more demonic in nature, so I like that. I like its take here to pull me into ritual, to pull me into the witch, but also the priestess and the sorceress. So it's a whole bunch of archetypes that live in this deck, and I love it. Now, there are some cards in here that, even I think are I love this card. Oh my God, I love this card. There are some problematic cards in here. The ones that, like, the fuck the patriarchy cards, okay? Like where you're doing bad shit to the men in this deck. But I don't know, because that seems like one of those, that's an archetype all on its own. This whole 80s feminist witchcraft thing, about hating on men is part of its history. And so you have to acknowledge history. So anyway, so the Barbara Walker Tarot links me to the witch archetype within, when I want to commune with them, or like just one of them or multiples of them, I can tap into the energy, right? I can make a sacred space in my table here and draw some cards. And depending on what cards come up, I pretty much can intuit whether I'm speaking with one or multiple ancestral witches that live in my soul. So look at that. This is actually a really powerful card because my tarot card of the year is the Hermit card. So I love this. This is not so much about hermiting oneself, but it's about the seclusion in my solitary practice. So I like that. It's a really good card, actually. Thank you, Barbara Walker. Thank you, the Witches Council, if you will. So that was the Barbara Walker. The next one I don't show on the channel that often. This tuck box is like plastic and it's really hard to get into, especially when you have these fake nails on. This is the Wayward Dark Tarot. Excuse me. It's by Pixeloccult. And this one's not shown a lot. And I don't show it on the channel a lot. It's only because it's like mini. It's like a mini deck. And I'm not really into mini. But I have found that this deck is really, really good to pull me down to, it's not hell, but it's a death place. Okay. So it's not a graveyard, but it's under the graveyard, but it's not hell. I don't know how to explain it. It's just go with me on this. It's dark and it links me to this time of year. I like to get spooky. I like to get witchy. Okay. Let's just put it that way. And when I want to venture, quite literally venture down to the depths. Okay. We might not always reach the underworld. Okay. We may just get to this dark, earthy place. That's like where the dead are rotting. Okay. This rotting place. Anyway, it's a Thoth-based deck. And the limited palette is so, oh my goodness, it's just really good to pull me to that that wet, earthy, dead place. Okay, look at this abundance card. Death. I don't know if y'all be able to see. I mean, I guess y'all could see. Pull you up a little bit. Look at this queen. They look very demonic. Look at this lust card. Freaking powerful. I love this. How the seven-headed beast is actually masks. I think that is so potent. There she's got her cup of abominations. Such a good deck. Look at that. That pine cone on fire with her little actually, that looks like a lynx or a snow tiger. It's a snow leopard, I guess. I don't know. And some of them, because of the limit color palette, it looks busy, but because it has all of its associations, it's the Thoth keywords, it's completely Thoth inspired, Thoth based. It linked me. It's like I'm using the Thoth, and I can, okay, I didn't put it on this list, but you know me, I can use the Thoth for pretty much anything. But this really, it's just because imagery is so visceral in our practice, I love its ability to tap me into that dark place. They're sliding everywhere because it's like a linen finish. But let's do it this way. Look at that worry card. I have a couple of skulls, okay? Because you know me, I love skulls. I have a lot of skulls that I've collected, but I haven't been able to get one ethically sourced because I do my own bone digging, like my own foraging for bones. Hence this is some bones I've foraged. I want a skull with horns because horns, especially deer horns, like the the white-tailed deer and the, I'm pretty sure we have some fallow deer, but I haven't seen one. So, the deer is pretty good. It's pretty prolific down here in the south, so. But there's a lot of skulls, it's just good dark energy. So it's almost like a dark, it's like the evil twin of Thoth. Okay? Like if Thoth, like in the Lover's card, which I'll be talking about in another video. I think that's already come out when I filmed it, when I put this out. But the Thoth Lover's card is Cain and Abel. So if the regular OG Thoth was Abel, this would be Cain. And it's just, look at this 3 of discs. The Works card, the Weaver. Oh, so freaking perfect. So that is the Wayward Dark. Very good to get you down to that cavernous, dark, earthen place, you know? Okay, now I did say that I commune with multiple spirits, not just human. And I want to just plug this here, that this is the Terror of the Sidhe. I don't want to say that I use this to commune only with the Fae. I use this as a dimensional communion. So this is going, we're going dimensions, we're going realms here, okay? So if I want to, say I know that I'm going to travel, right? Like hedge ride or path walk, okay? I can use this beforehand, get a read, it's like getting a lay of the land. So I'm getting a lay of the land with this deck and kind of figuring out the energy of the beings that are over there at the present moment of like, you know, like before I go. So depending on what card I get, I kind of know what the energy is going to do, what I kind of know which beings I'll most likely encounter, whether or not they'll be hiding from me, whether or not they want to commune. You know, like if I get a card like this where the third eye of the being looks open, then it tells me that they're receptive to me, that they're wanting to communicate with me, and, you know, things like that. But if I were to get something that doesn't look as receptive in nature, like, see, if I got the Maker King, he's at the forge, right? But this is a forge in a different realm. So this is, you know, the maker of things like, he's the maker of the talismans and amulets that you would find in this dimension. So say you find a hagstone, or say you find an arrowhead, or, you know, you're drawn to something that you've found out in nature, then someone like him, the Maker King, he made those and placed them in this realm. And meeting him in the other dimension would be so cool, because it's like I'm seeing where the talismans were born, you know? But sometimes I might, you know, like dragons, I commune with dragons all the time. I don't need a deck. But, you know, look at this. This is a circle, right? It's called Heart Song. I love this. Oh my gosh. But that could mean that they're busy. They're busy right now. They don't want to talk to me. You know, they're doing their own thing. They're involved in their own ritual, right? Like, look at this. This means, this card might mean that I'm not exactly, like, I'm not going to be able to travel. Something will stop me from going all the way to the realm. So see, I can lock into the card specifically, or just the imagery, and figure out if the beings are receptive to me or not. So love this deck. I haven't trimmed it, but it's because the spirits told me not to. It's because the thick black borders are like the frames. They're like the ether, okay? The black here is the ether of that realm, and if I trimmed it, they can escape. And it's not so much that they don't want to escape, it's that they know they don't belong in this realm, and they want to keep the mystery. And so by trimming it, you know, I was like, you know, I just felt that they needed their, you know, like you need your door, right? If you don't have a door, you don't feel very private. You don't feel like you can have any privacy. And I feel like the big, thick black frame is their privacy fence. It's their boundary, if you will. So Love this hangman. I love the glyph. I love the glyph. I actually tried to do this in a ward, which I think that my ward video has already come out, but you know, if not, it's coming. So, you know, be on the lookout for that. So yeah, so this is great, but also, okay, I'm sorry about the light. The sun is just like it's cloudy and the sun is like getting behind clouds all the time. So, but I can communicate with the Fae with this too. So it's not just dimension and realm work, but for the most part it is. So that I can commune with multiple spirits, not just the She, not just the Fae. So, fantastic deck for communication. Seriously. Okay. Talking a lot about each deck. All right, and then the last tarot that I want to talk about is an oldie for me, but I love it so much, okay? It's the Tarot of Vlad Dracula. And this is one of Travis McHenry's first decks. And I actually won this in one of his giveaways on Instagram. Oh my goodness, you guys. Travis knows what he's doing, okay? Usually. Usually. And he did such a remarkable job on this, and I can feel the research because he traveled to, was it Romania? Okay, anyway, he traveled all around looking up the legend of Vlad Dracula, right? And he made this woodcutty deck, okay, off of the legend. And as beautiful as that is, it's really a good tarot. Like, I'm able to read with it. Look at this Empress card. Look at this Empress card. It's like we're playing Operation, okay? How cool is it to have an Empress that's mutilated like this, that taps me in, I mean, I know it's probably not his intention, okay? And there is a story behind it, but which the little, you know, the little guidebook that he gives a little bit of it. But this imagery taps me into sacred rage, right? Trauma and rage. This deck pulls me into that trauma and rage place. But this is a specific folkloric communion deck for me. This is mostly a human spirit deck for me. So I'm tapping into human spirits with this. But this is spirits that trauma, okay? Trauma, they have trauma, or I don't want to call them evil, because I don't know. I have a thing about evilness. And I don't want to say Vlad wasn't evil, okay? I just have a thing about using that word. I love the word as a word, but there's more to the story. There's more to the story, okay? And, like, look at this. Oh my God. The wages of truth. Of course, Vlad is the magician. But the woodcut, there's an ancientness. There's an ancientness to this deck. There's trauma in this deck, and the spirits of the dead that have been victimized, okay? And that had led traumatic lives. I don't believe that they live out their trauma after death, okay? I also believe that some spirits might hold grudges. Some spirits might be poltergeist in nature because of trauma. But I think more along the lines of my relationship with evil. My relationship with the divine masculine, to be honest with you. This taps me into that, you know, that place of the divine masculine. And what my relationship is with that. But in terms of spirit communication and communion, it's such a good deck to tap into the ancient ones, right? And not ancient as in like way ancient. I mean like medieval times, okay? Medieval times, the way they lived, the way that they want to tell me what the witches were doing in you know, in different eras. And it just taps me into that. Like, there's so much trauma in this deck. The first time I used this, I heard like screaming, like it was like a battle scene from TV. But it wasn't a scary thing. It was just, you know, one of those things like I released something. But it's a good spooky deck. Okay, that's all it is. There's a good spook factor to this, like, you know, no matter what, right? Look at that. What was that? I wanted to see the head. Oh, here we go. Vlad beheaded by the Ottomans. Uh-oh. Somewhere. Why did I do it like that? There. It's a death card. But I feel almost like this could be the justice card. You know? So that is the Tarot of Vlad Dracula. I've had this thing for years, and it's surprisingly, you know, it is what it is. It's got some Dracula energy in it. How, you know, how perfect is that? Okay, the last tarot is one of my favorites. All right. For sure. And that is the Tarot of the Crone. Now, I'm sorry. I believe that this... I don't know if Travis has any of the Tarot of Vlad Dracula. I'll leave his website below. Maybe he does. Maybe he has something in stock, okay? But I know he's coming out with so many decks that this might be out of print, but I don't know, so... But I know that this is out of print. However, there was a recent interview with Ellen Lorenzi Prince on Kassia's channel. Kassia's channel. And I think Ellen's going to be making some other decks. So, you know, be on the look. You could be on the lookout for that, but I don't know about Tarot of the Crone coming back. So, I love Tarot of the Crone. It's one of my all-time favorite decks. And much like Barbara Walker, it's my Crone deck. It is my Priestess and Enchantress deck. I'm enchanting things with this. There is a Crone spirit that lives in this deck. And when I want to commune with the Crone specifically, this time of year, I get this deck out. I get this deck out and I'm pulled from where I'm at to a place where the Crone resides. And I can commune with her and talk with her. She gives me guidance. Usually there's a lot of advice given, okay? In a way that is more, it's more than motherly, okay? Because sometimes, okay, ask me how I know, but your mama, the mama advice sometimes could come from a conditional place, all right? From them having unnecessary expectations of you, all right? But this Crone energy, the Crone spirit, has a way about her that is unconditional love in an ancient way. Look at that Temperance card. I love it so much. This fire and ice. Ugh, and look at that. This shade, the shades coming out. So good. And it doesn't shy away, you know, from what you need to hear. And that's where the Crone's wisdom lies, is that she's not afraid to tell you like it is. Sometimes you need that. And I've always noticed this about the Crone, is that a million people could tell you like how or why or whatever you should do something, but you don't listen. You're like, you know, whatever. But then when the Crone speaks, for some reason you trust her and you listen, you know? I guess because you know that even if it's harsh, she's right. and you didn't want to believe the other people that were closer to your age or whatever. Look at that magician. Oh, you know, you just didn't want to listen to somebody that you didn't think knew what they were talking about, but turns out they did. Just that's the message of advice, really. It's the message of advice, is that you don't always want to listen to people. You think you're the smartest one in the room. That strength card. If anyone knows of any other deck that has a strength card with a snake as the main animal, because you know how we do, okay? There's always some kind of main animal involved. So if you know of another deck that has strength with the main animal being a snake, please let your sister know, all right? Please let me know. This reminds me of Stargate. This reminds me like this is Anubis. You know? Let me know if you agree. If you've seen Stargate. Don Michelle, if you're watching, let me know. So yeah, perfect deck for Crone communion. Let me put this Tarot of the Crone up for a second, because I like to put her right back in her box for safekeeping. Okay, let's do the oracles. Right off the rip, I do want to say I love this oracle. This is the Mother Mary Oracle by Alana Fairchild. It's the only Alana Fairchild deck I have, but it was because of the art, for one, and I do like the names. You know, it is what it is. I like the creativity and imagination behind that, and I feel like the Mary, much like the Crone lives in the Tarot of the Crone, I do feel like the energy of Mary lives in this deck. But it is more of the mother archetype. Okay, so this is the caregiver archetype for me. But in terms of spirit, this is unconditional love, or the Empress, or the Creatrix. There's a whole bunch of archetypes that live in this deck. But there's something about communing with her, like I'm Bernadette, okay? It's the sacred priestess within me longs to commune with Mary in a motherly way, and in an archetypal way. Not so much for advice, but for hugs and for love. And like I said, I don't really commune with her for advice per se. Not that I wouldn't take her advice, but it's not really what she does. She's more nurturing in nature, you know? She just wants to hug me and tell me that everything's going to be okay. And kiss me on the temple. You know, it's just about love. And sometimes when I have that communion with her, that's all that's needed, is a kiss on the cheek, right? A conversation over a cup of coffee. It's no advice. It's just talking. Our Lady of Sweet Rest. The art in this is absolutely phenomenal. I love this. It's always been a great deck for me to tap into a place where I'm getting ultimate, like cosmic, ultimate motherly love. So, it's a fantastic deck. Our Lady of Creative Choice. Oh. No, this one's upside down. Wonder what that means. Our Lady of Resurrection. Love this owl here. So many good archetypes. Our Lady of the Ocean of Rebirth. Wow. I love how some are depicted as just soul figures, but then others have the child. I like that. Taps me into that mother. So, very, very powerful deck for spirit communication for me. If nothing else, just to get like a hug, you know. So that was the Mother Mary Oracle. And I have two more, okay? No, three more, I'm sorry. Now, if I want to be cheeky with the spirits, or if I feel like the spirits are being cheeky with me, I will get this deck out. Now, I have contemplated getting the Morgan's Tarot because that's what this deck is like. I don't want to say it's based off of the Morgan's Tarot, but they've used that same energy and like done some stuff with it. So this is the Postcards from the Liminal Space. This is by Everyday Magic, Baccara Whitner. And this, I think this is out of print, but they do have another Liminal Space, I think it's called Visions from the Liminal Space. But when the spirits are cheeky, when I've gotten that vibe from them, I definitely get this out. And like I said, I've kind of wanted to get the Morgan's Tarot to see if they work well together, like these two decks. But this is, I feel like this is more my time. It's more generational to me than the Morgan's Tarot. So, I don't know. Some messages I don't like, but that uncomfortability pulls me too. So it pulls me to get cheeky right back. Okay. Love this card. This all friend card. Love that. I always think of my imagination as a train station. Love that. So. Such good. Suchness right there. Trash magic. One of my favorite cards. I've held a glue gun since I was like 3. So, love this mandala in the sand. See, I would have called this Thunder God. So, this is when the spirits are cheeky, okay? Or I'm feeling, well, probably it's I'm feeling cheeky. And when I communicate with them, I'm going to continue to be the cheeky brat. And this deck is really good to like be the brat with me. And we can be like this giggly, I don't know. I'm communing with the other side and we're like giggly little sleepover chicks. So that is the Postcards from Liminal Space. Love it. I love it for what it is. Okay? For real. I love it for what it is. This is Bacara's message to us. Always. Every time I'm on her like Instagram, she's always like, drink your water, bitches. So. All right. Okay. I had to mutilate this box to get it out of here. So I think this was like before we knew how to make decks properly. But it is what it is. So there was that. Okay, I do want to mention the Tree Whisper Oracle. Now, the Secret Garden, this is my deck, you guys. This is my deck. And like it says, this is tree spirits. And this is nature spirits, tree spirits. This is, for me, it's more than tree. It's more than tree spirit. It is land, but it is babbling brook spirits. It is lake spirits. It's forest spirits. It's the champion of the forest spirit. It's this all the animals that live in the forest spirits. This is spider spirits and rabbit and all of the forest dwellers, but also the animistic, because I'm an animist, the spirits that live in the streams, the ones that are going to help you on your quest through the forest. And I love the autumn winter one that she came. That's the long skinny one, the OG Tree Whisper. This is the Secret Garden edition. For some reason, I'm always able to tap into the spirits more through the lushness of the greenery. So this definitely helps me commune with the land spirits. and some plants, but mostly it's land spirits and animal spirits, but mostly land. So it's all of it, not just trees. So it's like an all and it's an everything and a nothing. This is going to tap me into regular land spirits, forest spirits, animal spirits, but it's in a forest setting. So, yeah. Definitely love this for what it is. Definitely love this for what it is. I'm definitely communing with the tree spirits here. I'm talking to them. They're telling me about their day, okay? They're telling me about their lives. I love this card. Love this. I love how Mags puts like these magic sparkles on the cards. Just, ugh. That adds something, you guys. It just does. I love this. It's called Offering. And I love that there's like a pathway here that's leading into darkness. I just love that. Oh. Ugh. This deck is powerful. This deck is powerful. And I'm gonna leave Mag's blog down below because I think she's doing some more tree whisper magic. So, you know, you'll have to get in on that. So I'll leave her website below. So you can go check out what she's got going right now. So that's the Tree Whisper. Oh, of course, this is the bottom card. Oh, take me with you. So that's the Tree Whisper. I use this to commune with the forest spirits, mostly tree spirits. It doesn't come edged. I edged it. All right, and then the last one is an out of print Your Own Oracle by Kristen at Over the Moon Academy. I will leave her Instagram below, or maybe her link tree. But she has several like print your own decks that I have. That I've, you know, like you can tip her through her Ko-fi page and you can print her PDFs and then like print them on cardstock and cut them out yourself, which is what I did with this. And this is the Women's History Month Poetry Oracle is what it's called. I think she still has the Black History poetry, which I think is still up, but I don't know about this one. So this is for like, this was for Women's History. But this taps me into the spirits that live in this deck are incredibly beautiful. There is spirits that live in this deck, and I can use this for communion. I can write devotional poetry with this. I'm tapping into the red thread, the mitochondrial Eve with this deck. I just feel, I feel her energy, and it is just so good. Like, this is how it's supposed to be done. So, let's do this. Okay. All new cards. Shrouded in, ready to strike, inner mystery. Facing a sheer sky. Streaks of midnight. So that's supposed to be like how it flows. You're supposed to like make a poem with the little words that Kristen has, the phrases that Kristen has used. Now watch this. Adorned in a long story. Surge of passion. Scrubbing bright colors. This speaks to me of glamour magic and how you're doing it for the wrong reasons. So you're adorning yourself. You feel passionate about it, but you've scrubbed yourself away. You're using that glamour as a mask. And all your bright colors have been scrubbed. Your true colors. I see your true colors shining through. So this is a very, very good deck that I use to commune and to write poetry. Especially when I need to tap into that place. divine feminine place, I guess. Bare eyes. Beware of my smile, fire in my eyes, bare eyes, friends invited, wanting, wanting. Ooh, loving that. Okay, so that was that. Like I said, go check Kristen out. She's got a whole bunch of good decks. Lost Tongues. Wow. This is powerful. This is powerful. I love it so much. Okay. Eee. So, there we have it. So there were some decks that I used for spirit communication. I hope that this was enjoyable. I hope you got something out of it. All right. Let me know what decks you use for spirit communication if you do. So if you commune, which decks do you do it with? And what kind of spirits are they? Let me know. And happy spooky season. I will see you all very soon. Much love.